Hi friends, Andrea here. I am going to do an experiment on some different kinds of beads that I have here. I have some just wood beads here. They're just like some cheap, some cheap wood round beads that I have. I think I just got them in a big pack from probably like Michael's or something. Same with these, but they're more like, I don't know, disc shaped or rondelle shaped. I have some shell beads, like some shell Hishi beads, and I have some coconut shell. Coconut shell is not shell, it's wood, so it's like coconut wood beads. Hishi, rondelle, whatever you want to call that. This is a wood burning tool that I've had a super long time, and I thought that it might be interesting to see if I could put like some kind of a line on or decoration on these different types of material just as an experiment. These are two beads that I did a little bit earlier, and I was just kind of experimenting. I didn't know what I was going to do. But these wood beads are just boring to me, and I have had them in my stash for so long, and I just don't think I'm going to use them unless I jazz them up a little bit. So I'll bring those out when I'm done. But I'm letting my letting my wood burning tool heat up a little bit. I can feel the heat from it. I'm not even going to touch it because it's super duper hot. I can see the color of this is like almost turning bluer than the part of the bottom, so that's how I can tell it's hot. And then I have this pair of tweezers here so that I can kind of either like hold it in place like this or hold it in place like this through the little tool. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and I have the camera on my phone sort of focused in on the bead I'm going to be working on. Oops. And I'm looking through the camera to do the work, so that might kind of be weird. It might be hard. And then the surface I'm working on top of is a silicone baking sheet. I think this is something that people buy to like bake pies on, but I wanted something that wouldn't, like if I accidentally put my tool down on it, it won't melt and end up burning a hole through my my cutting board, or my plastic cutting mat that I have underneath here. So hopefully this will be, I won't do that because I have the stand, but just in case. I think I want to start out with this shell, not the coconut shell, but these actual shell beads. So I'm gonna just put it right here, and I think I'm just gonna hold it down and then press down and see what happens. I don't know if anything will happen, if it's gonna burn it at all. Looks like it's burning it a little bit, and it's leaving a tiny bit of material behind from the previous wood burning that I did, but it's not really making a design. I'll bring it closer so you can try to focus in on that. It already had some, like, I don't know, some jagged edges to it, but you can kind of see right there where I put the wood burning tool across it. It's not that noticeable, and if I was wearing it like on a bracelet like that, you wouldn't be able to see it. So I would say it's probably not worth my time to continue, because I pressed into it pretty hard. If it was wood, it would have just kind of like melted. So I'm going to put those aside. I don't think that's a good fit for altering those. I'm going to try this bead, and I'm just going to try tapping the edge of this, not this flat side, but like the edge here. And I am going to go ahead and put it, like lean it a bit against the table just so I can have something steady. But we'll give it a try here. So already that looks so cool to me. I just gotta make sure I'm like spacing them out kind of evenly. I mean, I guess it is an artisan handmade bead, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want it to look like it's an intentional pattern, not just like a random. This is only like, I don't know, one of the third times I've ever used this wood burning tool in my life. I'm not the best at doing it the same all the way around. Like using the same, I don't know what you would call that, tension? The same pressure? Yeah, pressure is a better word. So I guess I need to practice at that. But holy cow, does that look cool. Okay, I'm going to put this wood burning tool down so we can look at this together. That looks so much cooler by comparison. I would definitely put this on a bracelet. It's just much more, I don't know, interesting looking than this plain bead. Look at that. It's like night and day. I love that. It looks super cool. It's very, I don't know, I guess tribal is the word I'm looking for. It's interesting. It's got texture. This has just got no texture at all, and it's so boring. It's more like this would be a spacer bead. This would be filler, where I want this to, yes, I do want it to be filler, but I also want it to be interesting filler, not just like ignored and boring. That's super cool looking. I want to try and do the same thing on the other one, because that came out cool. See if I can replicate it now. Pressure's on. I don't even know if I'm holding this tool the correct way. I could be totally doing it wrong. So if anybody is watching this wood burning bead video and has some tips on what I should be doing differently, please let me know. Leave it in the comments, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I have watched like a couple of, oh, that was too deep, I think. A couple of wood burning videos, and you know, I was like, oh, that's cool. But most of the wood burning videos that I saw were people like creating these like really intricate, almost like paintings, and doing all this shading and stuff with the wood burning tool, which feels like it's a little above my current skill level, and I was intimidated, and I didn't want to really start there yet. So what I had done the last time I used this was I just started with a piece of practice wood, and I had my boyfriend just cut me a piece of wood that he had some extra laying around, and I used all the different little attachments. I don't know what you call these things, like the little tips, and I experimented with like different pressures and different angles until I was getting something that was, you know, resembling, I guess, even pressure and stuff. And then after I did that, an even amount of pressure to a point where I was like, okay, I can kind of draw with this. I ended up using a really narrow little tool, and I made one of these like ornaments. And this is not something I drew. I'm not that good. I stamped on this piece of wood. It's a wood ornament kit. It's like one of those paint your own ornament kits. And I stamped an image on it with a very light, kind of light brown or light tan ink that I had. And then I drew over that with the wood burning tool. And when I poked the hole in there, I was like in a rush, and I used the wood burning tool to push through and burn all the way through, because I thought it looked cool. But then I made a mistake here. This is my boo-boo. Like, no one would know unless I pointed it out, but I didn't like how it looked. And I tried to like sand it off, and then the sandpaper was black, like a black grit sandpaper, and it left like a stain on it. And then I was like, oh no, this just whole thing went wrong. So I got disappointed and I put it away and haven't brought it back out again until now. And I never gave this ornament away to anyone because I thought it just didn't look finished and it was a practice piece and it kind of goes too far to the edge, and I don't know, I wasn't super happy with it. It's not bad for like my first time ever really using a wood burning tool, but it's not something I felt like I could give as a gift. Originally I was thinking last year like, oh, I'll like buy some cutting boards and like I'll cut stuff into them or I'll burn stuff into them and that'll be cool. And yeah, I just never got around to it. Maybe someday. But that looks super cool. Even though the one, I can't remember which one it was, I did like a very deep, there it is, a very deep burn on that one. It's like not a big deal that it's like that. Adds character. That's what I say. Yeah, I would totally wear these. That's cool. I want to make more of those now. I'm like into that. Okay, so now I want to see what I feel like I want to do something similar with this bead, with the coconut, because I feel like the coconut, the same issue, it's like a narrow bead. If it was being worn on a bracelet, it would be worn with this side out. So I want that side to be, this side won't show. It's just going to be like flat against another bead. So this is the part that needs to be sort of decorated. And like, just to be like, I don't know, up front. I've had these beads for a super long time. And I think it's because I don't like the color. Like, I don't like browns. I just don't like browns. I don't know what that issue is. I love black. I love like colorful rainbow colors, but I don't think I'm a fan of like natural colors. So I'm going to do my best to hold it in place and try to do the edge on it again. I'm going to try and hold it at a different angle so you can see if I can hold it. I wish I had one of those locking pliers. That maybe I'll put that on my wish list for Christmas for Santa to bring me. Oh, okay. I'm going to try. Oh, okay, that didn't work. I don't want to put my fingers too close to this. That's why I'm using the tweezers. So I'm just going to try and be very gentle and careful. So I'm going to go in from this side. Oh, it didn't really do anything. I mean, it did, but it's... Oh, I can't hold on to it. Was it this one? Yeah, it was this one because this one's hot. I just don't want to touch it. I don't want to hold it with my fingers, but I'm gonna go for it. Just hopefully my hand won't slip. It's just really hard to hold this with the tweezers. Interesting. Oh, that smells very different from the other one. And it's like burning, but it's darkening it, but it's not that noticeable. Because it's already dark on the edge. That's interesting. I don't know what to do about this. I'm really worried about getting too close to my fingers and burning the shit out of myself right now. It's probably a really bad idea. So leave me a comment about how bad this is. This is really, really bad. I'm not going to do that. I should have gotten my UV glove. Well, anyways, the experiment was just to see if it would burn and what it would look like. I don't feel like I need to go any further until I get an UV glove, and then maybe I can hold it. But I'm going to put that down in the stand. You can kind of see my second little burn there. It does add some texture. It might be cool if I like sanded the edge so that you could see the darker parts, maybe, but I don't know. It didn't quite do what I was expecting. I think it looks better on a lighter wood. Maybe that's the problem, is that it's a dark wood, so there's not enough contrast. It's okay. It's an experiment. I don't think I'll even notice it if I was wearing it like side by side with this. It might add just a slight amount of texture when I'm like wearing a bracelet with this on. Just enough to be like, it's not shiny, you know? And maybe that would be interesting, like visual interest, but I don't know if it make it enough for me to want to wear that. I just want to go back and make like a million of these. These came out super cool. I'm gonna try this round bead, and I don't know, I don't have a game plan here. On the other round beads that I did, actually I'll show you. On the other round beads that I did, I tried to do like straight lines because I didn't know what to do. And then I realized after I made this one that I really like how I kind of burned the edges. It added some kind of interest to it. And then I did a second bead. Then I just did the edges, and then I did like a couple of straight lines on the side. And I was intending for them to be like across from each other, and I wasn't quite even with my alignment. But that doesn't matter. It's just a practice bead. So I'm gonna try just doing that, the darkening on the edge only. And then if I get inspired, I'll do something else too, but we'll see. Oh, I wish it would focus. Probably not doing the right, technique, but oh well, that's how you learn, right? You practice. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this side now. I'm just kind of giving it like a scraping motion with the side of the tool. I don't know if that's going to give me the effect that I want or not, but it feels like I have more control with it that way. Oops. I'm trying to like look through the screen instead of looking at it directly. I feel like that's good enough. Okay. It's kind of hot. Ooh, it's kind of hot. The bead is kind of hot. That's okay. We'll let it cool down. Oops. It's leaving like little trails of burnt, like when you take a log out of the fire and you like can use the charcoal to scrape the ground or something. Is that just me? So already that just looks 10 times more interesting. I don't know. I could see myself continuing, but I almost don't want to create a pattern that I can't, evenly create or apply. As silly as that sounds, I'm just not confident enough in my ability to like evenly apply lines or all the way around and then not end up with like they're too close together or they're too far apart on the very last one, the last like row. So I might, if I do something, I would rather just have it be totally random pattern or just on one side of the bead. So like when it rolls a certain way, you see it kind of thing. There is one side of this bead that is flatter than the rest for some reason. It's just the way it goes. Probably because when it was like originally made on like a lathe or something, it had like a flat side. So I don't know. It looks like they have some kind of a glaze already on them, some kind of like a green tint to them, and I just didn't really like that color to begin with. So this is an upgrade. I'm going to just do the same thing to this other bead so that they match. So that like, if I decided to use them in something, like a pair of earrings, I don't know, that they will be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and do my swiping technique. Is that a technique? Could you call that a technique? It smells really interesting though, you guys. Maybe I'm not supposed to be smelling that smell because it's like the finish. Oh no, it rolled away. The clear coat or whatever it is that's on it. burning away. Probably shouldn't be breathing that, but well, it's too late now. So I'm going to try doing this edge now. I really thought that the shell was going to be better. Like have more of a distinct burn appearance to it. I can't get this to be in focus. There we go. That looks good to me. I'm gonna stop there. I think I'm just gonna stop here for now. If I decide, ooh, it's hot, to come back to these beads that I've just edged, I always can, but already they just look cooler. And then if I was to string them together with these, they already look better. I want to just get more of these out. I have more beads over here. I'll just show you. So here's like some of the beads. These are some shell, smaller shell, and some little wood donuts. These are plastic. They came with the wood beads. And then I have, these are some more of the coconut, like hishi. These are some painted wood, more shell and some other wood. There's some painted wood in there, and then some more painted wood and some more. These are the shell beads that I originally tried to burn. I have a whole bunch of different shapes and sizes of wood beads. These are interesting. I just don't like the color. It's not a jam. So maybe I can dye them or something like that. But then I have these wood beads too. These are those coconut shell. I'm sure they could look cool with something. I haven't been inspired by them. And then I have some barrels, different size barrels. And then I love that cherry, that reddish color of these beads, but I don't have enough of them to really, I don't know, I haven't been inspired. Like I said, I want to take all of these and do that edge finish, because that just was super cool, I think. So I might just keep going, you guys, and then I'll show you the finished piece. Or the finished piece. There's no piece. I'm not making a piece, but I'll show you the finished beads. I'm just going to make a couple more. I'm not going to go wild today, but at least I have some inspiration. So I'm going to pause, and then I'll come back when I finish those. Okay, I just wanted to come back and show you guys. I made a few more. And like on this one, I decided to experiment with putting them like really close together. And then the rest of them I just kind of spread them out. I don't even know how far away that is, but the rest of them are all kind of the same. But I don't think it matters, honestly. I think whether it's close or whether it's further apart, it just adds some interest, some texture to the bead, and I love the way that looks. And I can totally see myself coordinating this with something like I don't know, a lava bead, or even like a faceted glass bead. That would be really interesting texture. So I'm excited to do this on some more beads. What I think I might do before I continue wood burning more is just come up with a design, like a bracelet or something that I want to use these with, and then burn the appropriate amount for that one project, because it's a little fiddly. It's a little bit work to do it, and I don't want to do it and like do all of them and then change my mind about it. So because it's a bit of effort for each individual bead. It takes a little while, and might be just not worth it if I'm only gonna do, if I'm only gonna throw in like a handful of those beads into one bracelet. But at least it'll get me to use some of those beads that are in my stash. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this experiment, and maybe it'll inspire you to try doing something new or alter your existing beads in a way that will help you use them and use up what's in your stash. So thanks for joining me. Bye, guys.